Yeah.
All right, top 5 presidents. You want to start us off or what? Want me to start us off? Where do you want to go here?
Okay. Sure. It'll be me. I
Are you looking at a list of presidents
definitively know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
right now? Are you looking at a list or are you going off the top?
I was looking at a list. I'll go off top now.
Okay.
Number 1 is William Henry Harrison. That's an easy one.
I didn't even know that one.
You don't know William Henry Harrison?
No.
William Henry Harrison is the guy who died right away.
That's probably why I didn't know.
I think he died 30 days into
but
his
not like
presidency.
assassinated. He just got old and
No,
died.
he didn't wear at his inaugural address. It was raining and he didn't want to wear a jacket because he thought it made
Caught
him
a
look
cold
weak.
and died.
So he caught the flu and died.
You know what makes you look weak? Dying. Bro, think about that. Like, the world is just so goddamn different now where it's just like, what year was that?
18,
like early 18s? No, it's not 1860. That's Andrew Jackson.
1841.
But not far off. Okay.
Okay.
But like, you could like the public was like maybe worried that the president would catch the flu and die. That is nuts.
I mean, we kind of just did that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the president
yeah.
caught the flu, like he might die.
Right,
Well, it's
right.
not the flu. It's whatever. But you know what I mean.
Look at this fucking Johnny Truther over here. It's just like the flu. We just did that.
I had someone say it to me recently.
Yeah, you can't do that
being like,
anymore.
I'm about to say something that's pretty shitty because we were talking about like maybe going back into lockdown. Like, I'm saying something pretty shitty. Like, the flu still kills more people. And I was like, that argument went out the window in like April.
that went out the window like a million people ago. Jesus Christ. Okay.
That person works here, by the way. That person is a Barstool Sports employee.
Is it a female?
It sure is.
Yeah. That way you did that, I was like, that is a female who works for Barstool. Interesting. That does not take a detective.
She was like, okay, yeah, never mind. To her credit, she didn't stand her ground. She's like, yeah,
You're
no,
right,
I was,
you're right,
I was
you're
super
right.
wrong. Okay.
Okay.
To her credit, she backed down like a pussy.
My number 1 pick, Benjamin Franklin. I know he's not a president. my number 1 pick is Benjamin Franklin. My number 1 president of all time is a non-president. That dude was fucking awesome. He was fat. He was gross. He somehow fucked bitches. He invented electricity. I know it doesn't make sense, but he invented it.
He discovered electricity.
He's no.
Right? Did he figure out how to? Did he figure out how to use
No,
it?
that's
after
why.
that?
That's why I think it's funny. That's why I picked him. It's like people say he like invented electricity, like he's a Roman god,
Right.
like it comes from his fingertips. He just like got struck by lightning.
Also, like,
You
that
know?
whole story's fucking bullshit.
The key and
He was flying a
yeah.
kite with a key
No,
attached.
no,
What
no,
kind of
totally.
lunatic does that?
Totally.
I'm pretty sure that's definitively fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but you think about all these things, like all of these stories. I was watching something the other day about the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Mm-hmm. The dude who wrote the poem, like it was some other dude named like Zach Smith, and he was like, "Yeah, Revere rhymes with a bunch of shit," so I said it was Paul Revere.
Paul Revere didn't really fucking do the British
He
Coming?
was like a part of it, but he was not the dude. It was just like Revere rhymes with whatever, like come along children, let me whatever, however like the main poem goes. It like there's something that right off the top that rhymes with Revere, like clear or something like that. He was like, yeah, I needed a rhyme. So
Really?
So you just think about like all these stories
Dude,
and all these history
Zach
books.
Smith
It's like,
got fucking boned.
yeah, I got
man.
the raw deal. I don't know why I
Dude.
said Zach Smith. It's like the Zach and Smith, like whatever. But yeah, so like you think about those things where it's like, I don't know, something probably happened with a kite one day and something electricity, and all of a sudden it turns into this fucking thing, where he's like Doc Brown with the flux capacitor. It's like,
Dude, that's like, I mean, you just had the idea that lightning
yeah,
carried electricity. And you're like, I got to make up a story.
Basically.
How I discovered it.
Basically.
It's basically like you knew the answer and like on a test, and they made you show your work, and you're like,
right.
I don't
You,
know.
like
how to
reverse engineered
do
some shit.
Yeah.
Or, or as far as we know,
flying a kite in a rainstorm.
Ben Franklin could have been shit-faced with a couple of French whores and was outside like, let me show you girls what's up. Like, we're going to fly this fucking kite. Spazow! He was like, holy shit. This party got a little out of hand. We got struck by lightning, man.
Ben Franklin is just Ron Jeremy with better PR.
That's it.
You're like, yeah, he's a genius. He's fucking brilliant. He's a fucking cannonball with a mullet and have fucking apparently a piece.
Apparently.
That's it.
And which, eventually rotted off of his fucking sex-addicted body.
It rotted off him?
Make it up. Make up history, man. And I will have to say, even though it was my number 1 pick, I mean, goddamn daylight savings. Once you have a kid, is just a fucking fiasco. Either direction. Bedtime is either a fucking nightmare.
Did he
for your
invent
kids.
daylight savings?
Yeah.
Oh, what an asshole.
And then or like somebody some asshole, like I said yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was, I said like fuck daylight savings, and someone was like, why? Because it means like another hour with your kids, and I was like, yeah. Like I have the exact amount of time from wake up to from from wake up out of bed to get back in bed, and anything that extends that or fucks with it in any way, it's chaos. So yeah, so I'm not in on that. I might move to Arizona one day and just live.
That's
live daylight
one of
savings
the
free.
most under-discussed, bizarre things in the
Arizona
world.
just saying fuck
Arizona's
it.
just like, nah,
I love it.
We do not partake. Like, imagine being in one of like, if you live like right on the border, and you have to work in a different state.
Yeah, I mean, you could have like a 2-hour swing.
Never get used to that.
Yeah, never.
I would be. I don't know. There's a scene in 30 Rock when Tracy Jordan is always late for work, so they always try and do things to
Set the
make him
clocks.
think times
Yeah.
different, and they're all like saying like, well, I put his clock back, and like, well, I called him and told him the shoot was at this time, and someone else like, well, I did this.
Yeah.
And he comes downstairs, he just goes, what damn time is it? He goes, I just brought my kid to his music recital at what turned out to be midnight yesterday. It's like
That's Arizona. Just making shit up.
People, everyone in
Could you
Arizona is
imagine,
like, what fucking time is it?
Like if they just didn't participate in other things, it was just like, no. February is 31 days. We don't like this bullshit. It makes no sense that there's a month with 28 days. We're not gonna do it. It's February 31st here in Arizona. Fuck March 2nd.
That would be fucking unbelievable. That I think that the not doing the daylight savings is cowardly. But I think if you go all the way in, if you're like, no, we do everything. Like why are months different
Why
days?
stop? I know. Yo,
Every
have
month
you
should be
ever
just 30 days.
Have you ever seen
31 days,
the
or
proposed? I think it's 10 months at 30 days each. There's like a calendar that, and the way it works out is every single day of the week, like the every number of the month is always the same day. So like your schedule would just be so easy. It would be like the Thursday is always the 15th. It's always like set. So you just know all the time. Rather than this dumb shit, we got emperors making up months for their own.
Why do we have 365 days?
I don't. I mean, I do know that emperors just like August was for like Augustus Caesar or whatever, right? He was
How
just
long
like,
it takes to go around the sun once.
but it,
So
but
it's
but
like-
it, but it,
All right, that checks
no,
out.
but that's true. But like the calendar used to not be as many months, right? So it used to not be based on 365, right?
Yeah, I think Caesar and
They added
Augusta
July
added-
is for
added
Julius
some.
Caesar and like
August for
Augustus or whatever.
October
Augustin.
for Octavius. Or
Yeah, so
something.
it's like we used to have like 6 months. These motherfuckers just adding. That's a power move. If I was president, I'd be like, I'm giving myself a month. All right, second pick.
All right, number 2. Boy, this is getting hard. We've literally named one.
One president.
I am gonna go
Right now, between our two picks, we have about 30 days of being a president.
Yeah, we have exactly 30 days. All right, I'll go FDR. Because FDR was the one who gave himself another term, right?
Yes.
That's a power move.
That was going to be my pick, and that was going to be my reason.
Really?
And like people talk about it with Trump, like he's never going to leave. He's going to like declare himself king. And I think it was because it was like during World War II, and they're like, we can't be doing like elections in the middle of this. But the fact that he just gave himself like 4
Why
terms,
couldn't you do elections in the World War II?
I actually don't know that.
Like the war wasn't happening here.
Yeah, I think they were just basically like, we don't need like a change in administration in the middle of this, would be my guess. I don't know. But it is
Just
crazy.
tell you what, we've handled it pretty well for the last 20 years.
Every other time, there's been a whole bunch of fucking
We've
wars.
been
We
at
just keep
war
it
for
rolling.
20 years.
We just
like,
roll it over.
It was next.
Rolling it over.
Just so you know, there's a lot of shit going on in the Middle East. Wasn't even my call.
Right.
It was-
But as if the next cat would have come in and been like, we're pulling out.
Yeah.
We're letting Hitler do his thing.
yeah,
We're not. I don't agree with this war. Fuck off.
Look, I don't have to do The Nazis are. They made a couple good points.
But
So
and also didn't what's his face drop the bomb? So FDR wasn't even president throughout the whole thing. So they did
Oh,
eventually.
really?
Yeah. Didn't Truman drop the bomb?
really?
Yeah. Yeah. So he must have caught. Imagine that. You come in definitively at the tail end of this thing, and you're like, fucking drop the bomb and wrap this up. I don't want to be a president during this World War shit. Wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B. I got presidential shit to do. Fuck off. All right. So I'm going to go with JFK.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, especially I figured you were going to go with him because
I like my presidents who don't get assassinated.
Fucking like next time, don't get your head blown off. Isn't there something that he wanted the top down? Wasn't he like?
Yeah,
I want
it
to
was-
show the people,
No, I think it was supposed to rain that day,
and it just didn't.
and it didn't. And had it rained, they would have had the like bulletproof bubble up.
That's another
I
crazy
think.
one.
I mean, everything here is complete speculation.
Completely made up.
Like so I heard a homeless guy muttering it once. And I was like, yeah, okay.
My favorite thing in the world, And maybe I'm handing you a pick here, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's a crazy thing to say. It's just factoids that, my favorite little tidbit in history is all the Lincoln and Kennedy things. Those so Lee Harvey Oswald shot him from a warehouse and then he ran and hid in a theater.
Right.
And John Wilkes Booth shot him in a theater and ran to a warehouse. And Kennedy's assistant was named Lincoln. Lincoln's assistant was named Kennedy. And all those things, those aren't true either.
Oh, really?
The same show that I learned about Paul Revere, one of them is true. I think the warehouse thing might be true. The rest, there's nobody named Kennedy, nobody named Lincoln. They were supposed to be born on the same day or something that's not true.
It was the guy who shot Kennedy was a 3-namer too, right?
Yeah, but see, I think that is
Who was it who shot Kennedy?
Kennedy was Lee Harvey. Well, it's supposed to be Lee Harvey Oswald,
and then
if you believe it,
and then
John Wilkes Booth
John
shot.
Wilkes, okay.
But I also think that everybody has 3. I
yeah,
think,
but if you go by it, maybe you're a psycho.
Yeah, okay. That's what I always wondered. I thought though that maybe they do that when you commit a crime to specify there's multiple Kevin Clancy's. So if I'm the one who killed you, let's say it's Kevin Francis Clancy, do they say that so that to differentiate, or is it that those guys all go by 3 names?
No, because there are plenty of people who
they just have the 2 names in the news.
Because
you're right. If you do if you're a 3-namer, you are crazy.
Agreed. John Henry Feidelberg.
The shoe fits. All right, you're up.
3. Yeah, I guess I'll rip Lincoln.
I mean,
I just said I like my presidents who don't get assassinated, but
I kind of, by the way, I like my presidents who do.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah, it's like my rock star
boss move.
Die early.
Yeah. Die young, leave a good-looking corpse.
Right.
Die young, leaving the fucking history books with a chapter about you.
Was Lincoln wearing his hat at the play?
That's a great question. I bet not. I feel like you get inside, you take your hat off.
Yeah,
you can't wear a top hat at the theater,
especially when you're 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
So if
that guy
was,
had Marfan syndrome.
If
One of my
was,
buddies has Marfan syndrome.
What's that?
Everything's elongated. That's why he looked like he looked.
Really?
Long neck, long fingers. No, maybe made up. I don't know. No, I believe it to be true, but maybe. So how about this? For the rest of this, we can't ask really.
Okay.
I am trying to speak the truth, but I don't know if it is. But I'm pretty sure. Google this.
All
for
right,
me.
so Lincoln
Abraham
was
Lincoln,
wearing
Marfan
his hat,
syndrome. Yeah.
and in which case I agree with John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
If you're
put your fucking hat down, dude.
I can't fucking see, man. You're fucking 100 feet tall and you're wearing a 4-foot hat. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to watch a goddamn play, bro.
I do again. It's a great pick for you. A president who has a fashion statement, you see top hat, it's Abe,
Yeah. And he
that's
had the chops too, right?
Yeah. And 8 feet tall in a time where everyone was 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
so
I'm
he
surprised
was
that they weren't
dude.
you
That's
know
why
what,
I
he's
got
king.
elected. Yeah.
It's this guy is clearly something better than us. So he's just
Well, it's because he was weird looking.
Imagine if someone was running for president now and they were 9 feet tall.
Right. You'd be like, we have to elect him.
Yeah. Okay, he's an alien.
Yeah.
I guess let's not piss him off.
I love all doesn't he? He gets so much credit for the emancipation, but wasn't he kind of I guess we'll set him free.
He was I don't give a shit.
Right.
He's like, we just need to be a union.
Yeah.
You guys gotta decide. Are we doing
and you lost the war, so
slaves
that's it.
or are we doing no slaves? We'll fight it out amongst yourselves.
Yeah, you figure it out with 160,000 dead bodies, whatever. How about John Wilkes Booth? Didn't he just pop his hand in? Pow! He just point blank that shit with a musket. You know?
Imagine being get point blank to the president.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. I wonder if that was the moment they were like, we gotta protect this guy.
They used to give speeches on literal stumps. So they're called stump speeches. They're you just okay, we just chopped down a tree. Why don't you just stand up on this?
Abe probably didn't even need it. He's already tall. Wasn't Washington? Fuck. Well, it's my pick.
Yeah.
Washington.
Okay.
Wasn't he way bigger than the average people? Yes, definitively.
Yeah, he was.
I'm pretty sure he really was. That's why he
loved
basically
cutting
was
down
king.
trees
And not telling lies.
Yeah, actually, him and Lincoln both chopped down cherry trees.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and I think they both didn't tell a lie.
Fucking hate. Yeah, except the fact that they lied about chopping down cherry trees.
Yeah. What a weird thing. Son, did you chop down that cherry tree? It's why are we chopping down trees? What the fuck's going on?
How about I just pick the cherries off it and we'll let it grow more?
Yeah, we don't need to chop the whole goddamn thing down. Why don't you do something like when you're running around as a kid, that's how you cause mischief. You chop down trees. I'm just fuck girls and do weird, normal shit. Steal my liquor.
Motherfucker had wooden teeth. That's why they fuck girls.
Those fucking wooden teeth, man. Those are some. That's. Yeah, I like my presidents with wooden teeth. He's a fucking G. George Washington was that dude. Winning the American Revolution is some boss shit. That's really not talked about enough. I mean, that's an upset, dude. That's a big upset.
An empire versus a militia.
Yeah, which is funny,
also, why did they come here to fight us?
They should have just not.
You guys build boats.
Well, we probably just weren't like giving them their taxes or whatever, right?
Probably
You're
exactly
just like,
what
we'll keep the money. And they're like, well, we
Yeah.
gotta go get it. And they're like, come get some. We're gonna fuck you. We're gonna fight you from the trees.
It also is very hilarious that like the whole reason for the American Revolution we just do now in DC and Puerto Rico and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Like it was taxation
Oh
without
yeah.
And
we
like,
just-
like DC, yeah, you don't get senators. Puerto Rico, you don't get.
You know what I
fucking shit.
love,
The
like-
Virgin Islands, you don't get shit. Just pay us our money.
What was a great? I love.
And I guess we'll maybe help you out if hurricanes come, but probably not. We'll just come and throw toilet paper at you.
I shouldn't laugh. That's so true. We'll drop a box with some like a couple bottles of water. Remember that week during like the protests that everybody was using the Boston Tea Party meme? And they were like everyone was like, what would like our founding fathers think of like violence like this, and then everyone thought they were so clever, being like comparing the American Revolution to the Black Lives Matter protests. I just remember that period of time where like everybody was tweeting out pictures of the Boston Tea Party, and I was like, this is madness. This is fucking madness. But yeah, George Washington, like running point on the American Revolution. We beat the shit out of fucking Britain. Also kind of crazy that Britain was like the most powerful country in the world. Itty bitty.
They
You know?
but they
And
owned
that-
everything.
and they had that
so
navy.
it wasn't itty bitty.
Right. They colonized and everything, but
And they had all the guns.
it is. Yeah, they had
The
all
guns-
the fucking
guns will
all the
usually do
boats, all the guns. I mean, shout out to the French though. Lafayette, right? All these things I learned from Hamilton. That's it. You're up. We're in the end game here.
No, well, I was gonna do a little ass kicking real quick. I'll go with Dave Portnoy. Thank you very much.
That's clever, but I also can't believe you stooped so low to drafting Dave Portnoy.
I didn't even stoop low. I dug a hole.
Yeah.
I'm not even like stoop. I'm in the ground.
Now
right
you have
now.
to. Okay, now wax poetic about him.
Well, I mean, Dave, I couldn't thank him enough. He gave me a job, gave me a life. Without him, I'd be. I forget what he says.
All right,
I do.
that's enough.
What would I be doing? I forget.
Hank's a museum ticket taker. You were doing insurance. Your dad.
I guess maybe
It's just
was
not that
it.
bad. I don't think he ever mentions you because it's really not that bad. Like, you would fucking work for your family-owned insurance empire. Like you probably should have done that. Probably would have been better for you. Okay, I'm up. I was gonna go. I think I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna a little loophole here. We're not talking about like the person. We're talking about the president, if you will.
Okay.
Like the time. I mean, like the time he was president.
Okay.
Bill Clinton, Slick Willie.
I mean, that's a good answer.
Yeah. But I just don't want to be known as drafting a guy who like rapes young women. Because that's what he does now. I'm going to say that he wasn't during the White House.
I mean, he was.
That was consensual. It was consensual. I'm not drafting Epstein Clinton. I'm drafting Lewinsky Clinton. I like my presidents getting their dicks out consensually and playing the saxophone and shit. Prior to all that Epstein shit, though, I do think he was a good pick because he's like, I think he was the first. No, Kennedy was cool, right? But like, I think in the modern era, I feel like Clinton was like the cool guy. He was on it was either Arsenio Hall or whatever late night it was, Leno.
That's where he had
and the
the sax,
saxophone
right,
and all that
yeah.
shit. It was like, oh, you can have a little bit of personality. You don't
Yeah,
have to be like a
it
total
was
fucking stick.
We had a good run
Yeah.
from him.
Right.
It went Clinton to George W. Right?
Yep.
Clinton, George W.
Well,
Obama.
George W. has kind of looked back with some rose-colored glasses. I feel like it was not so great under him.
Oh
Like, people were
no,
not
for
too
sure.
happy
But
with
he's
him.
just a definitively cool guy.
Oh, cool
Yeah,
wise.
yeah.
Agreed.
No, I'm just talking.
Agreed.
I'm talking strictly the
Yeah.
PR guys, we
Right?
see.
The
Not-
Q rating or whatever.
Yeah,
Those guys are cool.
that's 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It's like those are 3
Yeah.
guys I'd fucking chill with.
Definitely, no doubt. That's a great
They
like.
could tell me all about all their war crimes.
Wouldn't that be funny if you ever got them in a room and they're like, dude,
Just
they
have a
they think
beer
we're
and-
the good ones?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
like,
it be funny? Not
Obama,
funny.
what were those fucking drones like?
Could you imagine? And I guess it's really not imagining because like of shit like that. But like, if we find out that like Obama was like a bad dude, because like politics aside, what he doesn't seem to be like a rapist or like a
Right.
murderer. Like, yeah, maybe the drone thing and some crazy like war type of shit. But if we just find out behind the scenes that he was like a womanizer and like a bad dude, that would be wild.
I would be shocked. About that.
Shocked. Him hitting that jumper the other day. You saw that?
Yeah.
He played it cool like you should when he was like, that's just like what I do. But on the inside, he had to be like, yes!
Yeah. Oh,
Fucking
God.
so happy that went in. So pumped. Because if he misses it, it's also like whatever. But that going in, he's like, fucking going viral. Yes, yes.
My Netflix documentary is about to get so many hits.
Right.
Okay. Is my 5th?
Is this 5th or 4th? 5th.
Boy, oh boy.
I mean, you could go with him.
I could go with Obama.
Libberg, Fido Lib.
I could go with Chester B. Arthur. Chester B. Arthur. Wow, man, facial hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's let me pop that up real quick. We might be going CB.
I love that you're like, I don't know any presidents, but then you know the guy with the facial hair. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at that bad Larry.
That's your choice.
Or it might be Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover did some cool shit with the FBI. Too.
I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Mm.
Yeah, the FBI, that sounds cool too, but he just got 2 H's in his name. How often do you see that?
And like Herbert is like Herbie. Yo, what up, Herb?
Also, it's the
you know what's a great like it's hard enough for us to just list these presidents. Imagine if you had to do it by face. Like if you pulled that, I wouldn't know that man.
No, that is. Hang on, I didn't see it, and I don't know if I can't see it now either. Fuck.
I mean,
It's Herbert Hoover.
yeah. We were just. What time is it? 3:30. You're early today. You are early today.
Herbert Hoover, I would guess because he's the only president I know who's referenced in Home Alone. When the old neighbor, she says, "I haven't had a phone since Herbert Hoover."
Wow.
I haven't done something. I'm gonna Google that real quick too. Herbert Hoover, Home Alone.
Did you take like Ritalin as a kid?
No,
Did you ever have like ADHD stuff?
nothing.
Surprising.
It's quite, dude, my phone. I never believed in this shit. I always thought it was overplayed. My phone's a fucking disaster since the new phone came out. Like everything is so incredibly slow.
Yep. Mine today just wouldn't play podcasts.
Really?
I pressed play, just nothing happened.
What is going on here? Herbert Hoover. Can you Google Herbert Hoover Home Alone?
Are you sure there's a Herbert Hoover reference in
like
Home Alone? The
99%
old neighbor
sure.
says something like, "I haven't been on the phone since Herbert Hoover."
Since Herbert Hoover. I mean, it might not be
the
I
phone.
had the chicken pox
I
when
think it's whose
Herbert
phone he
Hoover
used.
was in the White House.
Doesn't he like sneak out of the house and get to?
Home Alone 3.
This fucking asshole's referencing Home Alone
Oh, it's
3
Home Alone
on
3?
my goddamn show.
What
I
does
gotta
he
be
say?
honest. That's the worst look for you ever. You referenced Home
I
Alone 3
honestly
in a
don't even know I've
podcast.
seen this movie.
I had the chicken
Yeah.
pox when Herbert Hoover was in the White House.
No. Yeah, listen. You were correct about Home Alone 3.
I honestly, if you'd asked me before if I had ever seen Home Alone 3, I would have said no.
Yeah. I can't believe you pulled a Home Alone 3 reference out of your asshole.
I think I was just a kid and I was like, I know a president. Herbert Hoover was a president, and I was.
No, Home Alone 1 too.
No,
Oh,
Herbert
yeah,
Hoover
baby!
once stayed here on this floor. No, Herbert Hoover once
that's
stayed
Home
here on
Alone 2.
this
That's
floor.
Home Alone 2.
That's Home Alone 2.
No, Herbert Hoover once stayed here on this floor.
Okay. That's different. Yeah, but okay, I guess you're
But
right.
I think that the reference I was referring to was the third. I said the old neighbor. I didn't say Bob Schneider. I said the old late neighbor.
You were definitively referencing Home Alone 3, which I think is maybe the first time ever that someone has used that as like a pop culture reference. Like, yo, you know that scene from Home Alone 3? Definitively no. Everyone says no to that. I've never seen that. No, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so is that your pick, Herbert?
Who's the one who got stuck in a tub?
That was gonna maybe be my pick.
Taft.
William Taft. He was so fucking fat.
Yeah, it gotta be Billy.
Yeah, Billy
Yeah.
Taft. Well,
BT?
it is William Taft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like 400 pounds. Imagine if like Frank the Tanker, Coach Doug's was our president, because that's what it was.
I remember that was
You know
a
what?
big thing when Christie was running.
Yeah,
or
we can't have a fat president,
like,
right?
Like thinking about running. It was
Yeah.
like, in this day and age, like we've had a black president. You know, we all these
Time
all
to
these
have a
different
fat
people.
one.
Like, could we? I think it said like we will have a female president, a gay president, and everything before we have a fat
one.
president.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think so.
but that's also definitively wrong because Donald Trump's president.
Yeah, but he is big, but like not round fat. Like Chris
He's
Christie.
round fat.
I don't. He's because he's just big too,
He's-
though.
he's
You need
tall,
like a
but he's a
short,
fat man.
guy. Yeah, he's not round.
Bro, he's fat.
I'm gonna disagree with you on this one.
Oh, you're gonna disagree and you're gonna be wrong.
I think he hides it. Like Chris Christie has that.
He
fat
wears it
fupa.
pretty well, but
Yeah.
he's fat.
Right. Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying he does not appear to be fat.
I mean, there are definitely pictures of him where he looks like a fat person.
Yeah, they also do like touch up every single one of his pictures.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean,
Chris
he's not-
Christie is if you're gonna compare the two, like
They're
Chris
not-
Christie
they're not
is
comparable.
a round Humpty Dumpty fatso, you know?
But like, this is a guy like that guy's got to go to a Lutheran. Like, that's a fat man.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's also just an old man, you know. But that I think Taft was. I think the whole thing with him was like he was one of the last and only because like nobody knew what the president looked like. Like when you went to vote, it was like you didn't know because there wasn't TV and there wasn't like all this shit. So it was kind of like you've maybe
You
seen a
just
picture
really just
here.
taking a shot in the dark. you might have read a paper once.
Kinda, yeah. And I mean, that's fucking FDR hid that he couldn't walk.
Yeah. That's
You know,
right.
nobody even knew that. Imagine that if it was like, plot twist, your president's a cripple. Shit. That was going to be my pick. So I feel like, who's had a great, like, recent glow up looking back on it? Reagan. Those Reagan 84 shirts everybody started to wear. That became like
Well,
a
that's
thing
like
on
that's
college.
just Southern frat stuff.
Yeah. Like that became
that's just people who.
But I also
were
think
raised
girls
as
want to fuck him.
Republicans.
I think girls say that
And
Reagan's
they're like,
hot.
my dad says he's awesome, so I'm gonna wear a T-shirt.
Definitely.
Like, I want to impress
So Reagan
daddy.
had a big up.
I mean, he had the least. There's like one viral tweet of him on the plane, and it's like, this is the least swag of any drug dealer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's him in like sweatpants on Air Force One.
Right. That kind of shit where, like the Reaganomics became like a thing that rappers are talking about. I know my answer. Teddy Roosevelt, Rough Rider.
What is a Rough Rider?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was like
We don't know
badasses.
anything.
I mean, I knew the name. I knew that there was a thing. Rough Riders, I think, it was like a group of political. It was like him and his gang,
I
right?
think they were like kind of policemen that
Yeah.
rode on horseback.
Horses,
and, like,
right?
fuck
I think he
people
was
up.
a Rough Rider. It wasn't anything to do when he was president, right? He was a Rough
No,
Rider.
he
and then
was a
became
Rough
president.
Rider,
Yeah,
and then-
I think he
So
was like.
he
I think he
was
was like a
vigilante?
No,
He's-
no. I think
no,
he was.
it was
sanctioned, but he
Yeah.
was like.
Hold on.
I think he was kind of like a ranger, like a
Yeah.
Texas Ranger, kind of like a park ranger on a horse. Like he will fuck you up. And I mean, he's got. The
It sounds
mustache
to me like he's.
Yeah, U.S. Voluntary Cavalry.
That sounds a little vigilante.
Yeah, a little
That
bit.
sounds very
Voluntary
vigilante.
sounds like you're gonna hop on your horse with a gun.
It
and
sounds like
fuck
he's
shit up.
fucking Batman without money.
Yeah.
I'm riding horses and shit.
And I mean, Rough Riders is like that's a term.
Rough Riders is a cool term.
Yeah.
Shout out Cedar Rapids, their hockey team's the Rough Riders.
Riders.
Fucking-
Yeah. So that's my Rough Rider riding out my top 5. I think that draft went very well.
I think that went well as well.
Top 5. Because as you can tell, we are political aficionados. Voicemails.
Do it.
Listen, if you made it this far into the video,
Which is far. Like no one ever does that on the internet.
like it's the end. You made it to the end
the
of the video.
full fucking video.
You
You
watched
did.
the whole thing. So if you liked it and you watched the whole thing, why don't you subscribe?
It means you like us,
Click the subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm gonna fucking murder John.
and I'm gonna like it.
Kill him with my bare fucking hands.
Yeah.
And if you weren't sold on this video, there's plenty more. Watch what's next up and then subscribe. But just subscribe so I don't have to fucking kill him.
Well, I don't know. Do what you want, but subscribe. Probably.